Hello, everyone, and you're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710 and 103.7 FM. You know, for the past few weeks, I've been talking to you guys about my Source of Your Success coaching program, and I'm so happy because we've officially started. We have amazing women in the group who are so committed to really moving their lives forward in a huge and just a big kind of way, you know, and not willing to tolerate the crap, so to say, and not willing to settle for less in their life. And what I love about all the women in the group and even my individual one-on-one clients is that they all realize and have transformed their relationship to power and their relationship to integrity. And integrity is no longer, something I must do or I should do. It really is a way of life, right? Like if there's a leak in a balloon, there's no way that balloon will stay round and just perfect looking. It is going to eventually leak all of that air, and then it's just going to be a wimpy balloon laying on the ground. And so, last week when we talked to Mark Hunter, he really touched upon a lot of beautiful points when we're talking about integrity. Like it's not just something that you do, it's really who you're being. And one of the things that we talked about is learning how to say no to people. And you might be thinking, well, what does that have to do with integrity? Well, it has everything to do with integrity, because if you're saying yes to someone, but you really want to say no, that's out of integrity because you're lying, and you're not doing what you really want to do. And so when we're looking at that, what we're really talking about is talking your talk and walking your walk. What you think, what you say, and what you do are all in alignment. Because when you're in alignment, anything is possible. So I want to ask you, what would it be worth to you to be happy for no reason? I just want you to think about that for a second. Imagine being happy for no reason. I was a miserable kid. I thought I was happy. I look at all the baby videos and I thought I was happy, but I wasn't. I actually found ways to make myself miserable from time to time. And, your circumstances have something to do with it, your upbringing. And, I don't want to sit there and blame my childhood and my parents and they fought all the time and, make them wrong for it. I mean, but, that's why today's topic is perfect, because we're talking about how to be happy for no reason. And I don't know about you, but I often come across people who are simply unhappy. And I've said this on Deep Talk before. If you think that making more money, going on exotic vacations, living in a huge house is going to get you happiness, think again. So I want to make something very clear. I'm not even going to lie. I love nice vacations. I'm actually, I just got back from Maui, so it's beautiful. I love nice vacations. I love fancy cars. I love making money. However, I'm clear that those things don't make me happy. Money pays my bills. I get away on vacation. And I get to, enjoy life and just really experience beautiful places. But that does not make me happy. Happiness is an internal state. And I should be so blessed to be sitting on an island and bring that happiness with me, as opposed to showing up on an exotic island, unhappy, hoping to become happy. And so I have the perfect guest to talk to all of you today. Marci Shimoff is a New York Times bestselling author of Happy for No Reason. And her newest book, Love for No Reason, 7 Steps to Creating a Life of Unconditional Love, debuted at number 3 on the New York Times bestseller list. And in it, she introduces a revolutionary program to live in a deep and lasting state of unconditional love and shows you how to access that at any time and in any circumstance. But the book that we're talking about today, Happy for No Reason, is really going to touch upon what we need to do, who we need to be, what are the genetics behind being happy, what are the practical day-to-day steps that we can take to be happy. If some of you remember, she was also in the movie The Secret. And she was also, she wrote the Chicken Soup for the Women's Soul series, and her books have sold more than 15 million copies worldwide in 33 languages, have topped all of the major best-selling lists, and have been on the New York Times bestseller list for a total of 118 weeks. And what I love about Marci, I got to first hear her speak on my mastermind call with Lisa Nichols in my global leadership program. She is just so honest. And, you know, you would think being in this personal growth industry that you would be honest and, you know, authentic, but and there are a lot of people that are very honest, but Marci has no problem just letting it all hang out there, you know, just sharing with you really what it was like for her, why she is on this journey, and she's just real. And I know that you guys are going to love listening to her. And you can also catch her on a PBS television special called Happy for No Reason. And, you know, she's just an inspiration. She's inspired millions of people around the world and is dedicated to helping people living more empowered and joy-filled lives. So that's what we're going to talk about today, Happy for No Reason. And listen, I told you guys about my book. It's now a #1 bestseller on Amazon, Succeeding in Spite of Everything. You can get it at my website, vasavikumar.com. If you want to call me and just have a chat. I had a wonderful woman call me last week after the show, and she just wanted to know what I did and what the show was about, and it was a great conversation. So I'm encouraging you to give me a call, 913-951-1764. Don't go anywhere. When we get back, we're going to talk to Marci Shimoff. You're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO, Talk Radio 710 and 103.7 FM.
KCMO Talk Radio 710 and at 103.7 FM, the new home of the Mike Huckabee Show.
One of the reasons you and I do not want the government spying on us without authorization, without a judge saying that there's probable cause for us to be a suspect in a crime is because of the very thing of somebody having that information and deciding that they're going to tell it to somebody.
Mike Huckabee, weekdays 11 till 2 on KCMO Talk Radio 710 and now 103.7 FM. Talking Kansas City. KCMO Talk Radio 710, now on FM at 103.7.
Who are you? What makes you tick? What makes your heart race? I want to know. You see, my purpose is to support you on your journey. My name is Vasavi Kumar, and I specialize in transformational coaching and speaking. Let's set up your 60-minute coaching session today. Call me at 913-951-1764. That's 913-951-1764.
Our business is booming at Shane Company, and we're looking for more top-notch people to join our sales team. Truthfully, not everyone's cut out for a career at Shane Company. We only hire people who are fun and optimistic, people who will commit to performing the highest standards of customer service. You don't need any experience in the jewelry industry. We'll train you to become an expert in diamonds and fine jewelry, but you must have retail, non-commissioned sales experience. You have to enjoy educating customers so they're then comfortable making the right decision for themselves. If you aspire to professional growth, Shane Company offers a great environment for advancement. You'll love being everyone's friend in the diamond business. Apply now at shaneco.com.
Now you have a friend in the diamond business. Shane Company, a half-mile east of Highway 69 at 135th and Metcalf in the shops at Deer Creek Woods. Open weekdays till 8, Saturday and Sunday till 5, online at shaneco.com.
The joint supplements of today are sadly incomplete because they don't start relieving joint discomfort immediately, until now. Introducing the complimentary 2-week sample of fast-acting Instaflex, our most powerful joint formula ever. It can start relieving joint discomfort in just a few days. Claim your sample today. 1-800-922-8983. Great for your knees, hands, even your hips. Fast-acting Instaflex is available at GNC, but you can only get your complimentary 2-week sample by calling 1-800-922-8983. 1-800-922-8983.
People will come. People will definitely come.
Brothers and sisters, keep hope alive. Respond now.
A dream is a wish your heart makes.
When running a business, the road to success takes a bit more than relying on faith, hope, and dreams. A solid business plan includes a marketing strategy designed specifically for you. There's a free resource that can help brand your business. CumulusRadio.com. Log on to CumulusRadio.com and find out where to advertise, what to say, and how to say it. You know your business, we know marketing. CumulusRadio.com.
I'm a teacher, and my kids keep me going all day. My feet needed help. I was using a gel insole when I heard about the ProFoot 2-ounce Miracle insole.
Only the 2-ounce Miracle is made with custom-forming Vitafoam to keep your feet steady and comfortable. The 2-ounce Miracle insoles conform to the unique shape of your feet, just like custom orthotics. Plus, they cushion and support your feet for amazing comfort.
The lightweight 2-ounce Miracle insoles really help my feet.
Try the ProFoot 2-ounce Miracle insole, available at Walgreens, Rite Aid, and other fine stores.
Did you know you could earn a transfer discount just by switching your motorcycle policy over to Geico? And if you already insure your car with Geico, you could even get a multi-policy discount. I've always wondered what it's like to ride a motorcycle, to ride my steel horse across the land, fighting crime alongside a tall brunette, Francesca. Sorry, my mind went to a strange place there. Where was I? All the Geico motorcycle discounts. Right.
Call Geico or visit geico.com today to see how much our discounts could save you.
I knew that a sauna would be relaxing after a long, hard day, but when I started researching saunas, I was surprised. I never knew a sauna from saunasforbetterhealth.com could be so good for me. Go to saunasforbetterhealth.com and see for yourself. Their made-in-USA saunas harness the medical powers of far-infrared waves for remarkable health benefits. It helps remove toxins and actually speeds healing. The only problem at my house? It's a race to see who can get into the sauna first. Start your road to a healthier lifestyle now. saunasforbetterhealth.com.
This is Kansas City's talk station, Talk Radio 710, now on FM at 103.7.
Hey guys, we're back and you're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710 and 103.7 FM. And I'm so happy to be talking to my wonderful guest, Marci Shimoff, today. Marci's a #1 New York Times best-selling author of Happy for No Reason, a world-renowned transformational teacher, and an expert on happiness, success, and unconditional love. So please join me in welcoming Marci to our show today. Thank you so much, Marci, for being here.
Great to be here with you, Vasavi.
I love how you said my name. You said it so perfectly. So you know, the first time I heard you, Marci, was on the Mastermind call. You know, as you know, I told you this before, that I'm in Lisa Nichols' Global Leadership Program. And you were talking about, you know, when you were a child, you know, you really were not happy. And I could absolutely relate to that. So it's kind of perfect, right, that you wrote a book called Happy for No Reason, which, as we all know, is an international bestseller. So what was it about your childhood and not being happy that had you write this book, Happy for No Reason?
Well, first of all, they say that we teach what we most want to learn. And that was certainly the case with me. And, you know, I tell people that I came out of the womb with existential angst. I was not a happy kid. Even though I had really a great family and great circumstances, I just had this dark cloud around me. And it was all through my growing up years. It was as though I had a weight, you know, a heavy weight on my shoulders. And I remember I was very lucky, however, because my mentor, my #1 mentor in my life, was the happiest person I ever knew, and that was my father. He passed away about 6 years ago when he was 91. But every morning of his life, my dad woke up with a big smile on his face. And one day, I was probably 19 years old or so, he and I were driving down the road, and I looked at him and I said, "Okay, Dad, what's your best advice for life?" And he looked at me, and he said 4 words. He said, "Honey, just be happy." Well, I threw my arms up into the air in frustration, and I said, Dad, you were born that way, but I wasn't. What do I do? And he looked at me and he said 4 more words. He said, "Honey, I don't know." And it was at that point that I realized, you know, some people are just born happy. I wasn't one of those people. And so I dedicated my life to finding out what I could do, what you could do, what anyone could do to become happier in their life. And the good news, Vasavi, is that there are answers to this. And I'm proof of it, and so are thousands and thousands of people who've practiced many of the things that I talk about. I'd say if you were giving me a grade in happiness back then, I would be a D+, and now I'm about an A-.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a huge jump.
It is, and it's still a process, but I definitely have found there are, you know, happiness is a habit. It's a skill. It's something that you can learn. It's not something you have to be born with. And it doesn't matter whether you're really unhappy right now or whether you're already happy. Anyone can raise their happiness level.
So, you know, I think people listening would say, "But Marci, you don't know my life. You know, the economy, I don't have a job. I don't know what to do. I have this happening." And what I just heard you say was that happiness is a habit. And so what can you tell those people who don't believe you?
Yes. Well, here's the coolest thing, and I got so excited when I read this in the research. I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of people who are unconditionally happy, meaning they're happy no matter what's going on in their life. I've also done a lot of the, you know, research. I've interviewed a lot of the researchers. The most exciting thing I found out is this: We all have what's called a happiness set point. And no matter what happens to us, whether it's good or bad, we will hover around our happiness set point. It's like a thermostat setting, you know, and you may get a little warmer, a little cooler, but you're going to hover around your thermostat setting. Well, it's the same with happiness. So I'll give you an example. People who win the lottery, and you think, oh, all I'd have to do is win the lottery, and then I'd be a lot happier, right? Well, it's true. You'd be happier for a couple of months. But within a year, you would return to your original happiness set point. And shockingly, the same is true of people who have tragedies happen to them. Generally, within about a year, they've also returned to their original happiness set point. So the set point is the key to it all. And here's how the set point is derived. It's 50% your genetics. It's in your DNA. That's the part you inherited. It's 10% your circumstances, and only 10%. Now notice, most people are trying as hard as they can to control their life circumstances so they can be happy, but it's only 10% of the equation. The other 40% are your habits of thoughts and behavior, and that's what we can really influence. Now, I'm going to take this a step further. There are some progressive scientists out there in a field called epigenetics, including someone named Bruce Lipton, who you may have heard of. He wrote The Biology of Belief. And they say that even your DNA, even your genes will change when you change these habits that I refer to, the happiness habits. So I believe a full 90% of your happiness set point can shift when you practice these happiness habits.
So you're telling me that the way people can raise their happiness set point is one of the ways is by really focusing on their habits and their thoughts and the behaviors. It
is the way. It truly is the way. And I've distilled everything down to about 21 happiness habits, main happiness habits that anyone can practice. And they fall under 7 areas of life. And what's interesting, Vasavi, is that most people are really good at 5 of those habits. You've got those 5 down. You're really bad at another 5, and kind of in between on the rest. And what I tell people is to start where they're the weakest, and that's where you're going to get the biggest shifts that happen in your life.
Where can people find those 21 habits? That's in your book, right?
That's all in Happy for No Reason, and they can just go to happyfornoreason.com, and all the information is on there, plus a free assessment to tell you where you are on the Happy for No Reason continuum.
So we're going to go to a break soon, but I do want to pose a question that I want you to think about, Marci. You know, we talked about how you've been to India before and you love it there.
Yes.
And obviously you know that poverty is rampant. You know, half the population is living on the street. And in my experience, what I have found that even the poorest of the poor still remain to have a smile on their face.
And it's all that happiness set point. And what you'll find is some of the poorest of the poor are always smiling, some of them are not. Some of the richest of the rich are always smiling, some of them are not. It has so much less to do with your circumstances than people think. You know, we have it backwards in our culture. We think that success is going to bring us happiness. It's the other way around. Happiness will bring us more success, better health, better relationships. So the real key is to focus on the happiness first, and then all the rest follows.
Guys, you're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710 and 103.7 FM. So, Marci, how do people raise their happiness set point on a day-to-day basis?
Well, there are a number of practices that you can do, and with each of these 21 happiness habits, I have a specific practice to help you raise your set point. But let me first tell you the 7 main areas of your life that you need to really focus on that these habits relate to. And I call it building an inner home for happiness. I know that the 7 areas, it's hard to remember all 7, so I created an analogy that would make it easier to remember. And the analogy is the analogy of a home. Now, a home has 7 main components to it. It's got a foundation, 4 corner pillars, a roof, and a garden. Here's how that relates to happiness. The 7 main areas are: the foundation of your inner home for happiness is taking responsibility for your happiness, not waiting for something outside of you to happen in order to hope to be happy then. You know, the I'll be happy when syndrome. Stopping that and taking responsibility for your happiness, not showing up like a victim in life. Then the 4 corner pillars of your home for happiness are your mind, your heart, your body, and your soul. And it's really important to address all of those areas. Many programs might just address one, like your mind, just decide to be happy. That's not the whole picture. You really have to address your mind, your heart, your emotions, your body, your physical, the cells in your body, making them happy, and your soul. Are you feeling connected spiritually? Then there's the roof of your home for happiness, and that has to do with living an inspired life, feeling that you're living a sense of purpose and passion in life. And then finally, the garden of your home for happiness is who you surround yourself with. Do you have a bunch of weeds or toxic people in your life, or do you have roses and gardenias, people who are supporting you in your happiness? So those are the 7 main areas. And right now, everyone who's listening, just hearing those 7, where do you think you might be the weakest? And everybody generally has a sense of, I'm pretty good here, but I'm not very good there.
So, it's clear, right? Like everything that you're saying is pointing to one direction, that you do have a choice in how happy you want to be. Yes, it's 50% genetics. Yes, it's 10% circumstances, but on a day-to-day basis, you do have a choice how happy you want to be.
Yes, and let me clarify something about that, because it's not that you can just say, okay, I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning happy. Mm-hmm. It has to be developed, just like you can't wake up, you can't decide to be a great tennis player today and tomorrow morning wake up ready to play Wimbledon. If you wanted to be a great tennis player, you'd go find out what are the habits of great tennis players. You'd probably get a coach, and you would practice those habits. Mm-hmm. It's the same with happiness. You find what are the habits of happy people, practice those, and you will gradually become happier and happier.
I remember I read an article somewhere that, it talked about like the top 10 habits of happy, successful people. And
yes,
one of them was to not compare yourself to other people.
Right. Absolutely. Our minds are just our worst enemies. One of the sayings I have is that don't believe everything you think. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean that it's true. And the average person has 60,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of those are negative. And what we need to do is retrain our minds so that we create new neural pathways so that the positives become more automatic. And certainly comparing ourselves, when that's a dead end street. And that is one of the habits of unhappy people is constant comparison.
And I know that you were in the movie The Secret, right? Which is all about the law of attraction. So what's the connection between happiness and the law of attraction? And what's your formula for applying the law of attraction?
Great. So happiness actually is the basis of the law of attraction. The law of attraction says that everything in the universe is energy, mm-hmm. and that we attract to us based on our energetic vibration. Well, happiness is one of the highest energetic vibrations on the planet. So if you want to be able to attract to yourself more effectively what you want, then start vibrating at a higher energetic level. And in fact, Rhonda Byrne, who was the creator of The Secret and the author of the book The Secret, actually has a quote where she says exactly that, and I'll just read it to you. She says, I want to let you in on a secret to the secret. The shortcut to anything that you want in your life is to be and feel happy now. It's the fastest way to bring money and anything else you want in your life. So set your thoughts and frequency on happiness.
Well, it makes sense, right? If you can't be happy right now, how the heck are you going to attract the happiness in the future?
Exactly. Exactly. So you practice these habits, and I'm excited because we've talked like an overview of everything, but I know that when we come back from the break, I'm going to give people 2 really practical things that you can do immediately in your life to make your life better.
Okay, guys, so we're going to take a break, and when we get back, we're going to continue our conversation and really go deeper into the practical things that you can do to really be happy. And listen, if you have any questions, give me a call at 913-951-1764 to learn more about Marci's book, to get it for yourself and for maybe someone else in your family who just needs to be happy. Go to happyfornoreason.com. Marci, stay right there. And guys, don't go anywhere. You're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710 and 103.7 FM.
It started with helping folks out with transportation around the holidays with Cars for Christmas. It's expanded to all year round with Cars for Heroes, honoring our men and women who've served in the military. If you have a car to donate or know of a vet in need of reliable transportation, go to cars4christmas.org and click on the Kansas City button. Let's help those who have given so much. Cars4christmas.org and click on the Kansas City button.
Fox News Radio, I'm Liz White. It's the cleanup after the storm. Mid-Atlantic storms killed 13 people and blacked out millions, and it may be several days before power is fully restored. Shannon Pauley lives in Charleston, West Virginia.
I heard something that sounded like a train, and then a tree cracked and blocked the road, took out all the power lines, brought them down in front of the house. It was pretty scary.
Emergencies declared in several states. An update on Colorado's most destructive wildfire.
We're standing at 17,659 acres on the fire, and due to the hard work of the firefighters over the last couple of days, we're at 45% containment.
David Aker with Great Basin Incident Management. With 350 homes burned, some residents are returning home to see what's left. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Your KCMO forecast from KCTV5.
Becoming mostly sunny today. It's going to be another hot afternoon with a high of 99 degrees today. We'll cool into the 80s after sunset tonight. The coolest day of the week is actually going to be tomorrow, cool relatively speaking, with a high of 96. Then back to triple-digit heat on Tuesday, straight through the weekend, and no rain chances in sight for the upcoming week. I'm KCTV5 meteorologist Tom Walks.
By August of next year, your medical billing and coding methods become critical to the financial success of your practice. That's when America converts to ICD-10, and your coders must be certified in over 140,000 new codes. Certification is time-consuming and costly, and you risk an increase in claim denials. Purpose Billing Services is your billing and coding solution. Their staff is certified and experienced. Contact them for a free quote today, 913-707-8710, or visit them on the web at purposebilling.com. You fix your patients' aches and pains, and they fix yours.
Hey, honey.
Hi, Dad.
What you drawing?
It's our house. That's you.
Oh.
Me.
Huh?
Mom and Josh.
Wow.
Playing ball.
You are becoming quite the artist.
When you're a kid, you don't know that home ownership builds communities, that owning a home contributes to higher self-esteem and better test scores. You just know that home is where you play, grow, and learn. The National Association of Realtors wants you to know that home ownership matters to our families, our neighborhoods, and our country. Learn more at houselogic.com/homeownership.
Here's reality, guys. If you're over 30, your testosterone levels may have already begun to decline. It's a medical fact that testosterone levels decrease with age. Here's the good news. Progene, the only all-natural dual-action testosterone supplement, is giving away a free month supply to every guy that calls today at 800-660-2021. Kick your drive back into high gear and be the man you want to be again. Try it for a month for free. There's nothing to lose. Feel younger again and be the man you want to be. Call 800-660-2021 for details. That's 800-660-2021.
This is an urgent message for all individuals with extremely large credit card debt. No matter how much you owe, the company that has settled more credit card debt than anyone in the U.S. can settle your debt too, while you make one low monthly program payment. You now have the opportunity to hear how low your monthly program payment could be for free. To find out how much you could save, call Freedom Debt Relief. 1-800-398-5589. 1-800-398-5589. 1-800-398-5589.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-888-630-8703. 1-888-630-8703. That's 1-888-630-8703. 1-888-630-8703.
KCMO Talk Radio 710, now on FM at 103.7. Now you can hear the biggest names in talk radio on FM. This is KCMO.
We're back, and you're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710 and 103.7 FM. And I'm sitting here, and I'm talking to the magnificent Marci Shimoff about being happy for no reason. And listen, guys, if you just really want to learn how to be happy from the inside out, go to her website at happyfornoreason.com. You can get her book. And in her book, she has the 21 habits that you need to cultivate to be happy. So, Marci, I am really excited because you're going to actually give us 2 immediate practical steps that we can take to be happy. So I got to hear this. What are they?
Great. Okay. The first one is to move from what science calls the stress response into what they call the love response. Mm-hmm. You know, we think of love as being some airy-fairy kind of a thing, but actually it's a physiological state where you have different heart rhythms, different brain waves, and different biochemistry. And you can very quickly move from stress, which we all know, into the love response by doing a practice called the inner ease technique. Okay. Now, I learned this from a group called the Institute of Heart Math, and they're the world's leading researchers on the heart and how it affects our happiness and our health. And so this practice I'm going to ask everybody to do along with me. It's a whole lot more powerful to do it rather than to just listen to us doing it. So it's very simple. It's only 3 steps. And so please play at home. Unless you're driving, in which case just listen carefully, and then you'll be able to do it when you get to your location.
I'm going to do it right now, Marci.
Yeah, you're going to be my guinea pig, actually.
I'm always the guinea pig.
I'm going to ask you how you feel, okay?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, it takes 2 minutes to do, and you can do it with your eyes opened or closed. I recommend that you close your eyes if you're able to, because it'll go a little bit deeper. So either way, first step is to simply place the palm of your hand over your heart. Now that very simple act of putting your hand on your heart starts the flow of a chemical called oxytocin. And oxytocin is dubbed the love hormone because it's what we feel when we feel bonded and connected with each other. Women who are breastfeeding have more oxytocin. We have more oxytocin when we're making love. Just having your hand on your heart like this is starting the flow of more oxytocin in your system. Now the second step is to imagine that you're breathing in and out through your heart. So picture or feel that your breath is coming in and out through the center of your heart. Some people do better picturing, some people do better feeling, doesn't matter which one you use. Just imagine that your heart is the one breathing in and your heart is the one breathing out. Your breath is coming in and out through that area. And then finally, the third step is on each in-breath, imagine that you're breathing in love, ease, and compassion. And you're exhaling normally, but you're inhaling. On each inhale through your heart, you're breathing in the feelings of love, of ease, of compassion. And you're exhaling normally, but inhaling, taking deep into your heart, love, ease, compassion. Exhaling normally. Another round, inhaling love, ease, compassion. And on the exhale, you can open up your eyes. If they were closed, you can take your hand down. And just take a second to notice how you feel now as compared to how you felt less than 2 minutes ago. That was less than 2 minutes. So in that very short time, Vasavi, who is my guinea pig, tell me, how do you feel now as compared to how you felt before?
So I have to say, the muscles in my face got less tense.
Uh-huh.
I was stressed on the way driving here, I'm not going to lie, because there was a little traffic. And I noticed my body was in absolute stress as we were doing this. Like I put my hand on my heart and I made sure I closed my eyes. And all of a sudden, the thing that really got me, Marci, was when you said to breathe in and out through my heart.
Right.
So it made me become more mindful of my heart, and everything else seemed to not matter at that point. And maybe if I wasn't on the radio, I'd probably be crying right now, because it was just like such a release of the stress that I almost just wanted to cry in joy from joy.
Right.
I was just so happy, like, just it all melted away.
So that's beautiful, very beautiful. And, different people will have different responses. Some people will just feel more grounded or more relaxed, more centered. Some people have physical sensations, like they'll feel a warmth in their heart or they'll feel tingling. All of these are signs that you're moving into this love response. And here's what's really cool about this. Doing it one time is, not a nice experience, but won't create change in your life. But here's what will create change. If you do this 3 times a day for the next 2 weeks, you will start to make a habit of being in the love response. And that's the idea, is that you make it so that you become habituated. So we're talking 6 minutes a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, once in the evening, where you're spending 2 minutes doing this. And what you'll find is just amazing that, in a couple of weeks, it'll start to be more and more your default state. And here's something really, I think, very cool. Mm-hmm. This group, the Institute of Heart Math, has done research on finding that when people are angry, it will suppress your immune system if you're angry for up to 6 hours. But if you're feeling love or ease or compassion, it will strengthen your immune system for up to 6 hours. So, this, not only do you feel better, but it's really, really good for your health as well.
I thank you so much, because it's something that's so simple to do, right? You could do it as soon as you wake up in the morning and right before you're about to go to bed, or even during the day when you're stressed out, when people are...
I do this when I'm standing in line at the grocery store. I do this when I'm sitting on the telephone. You don't even need to wait to be stressed out. You just do it preventatively, and your body starts to get used to being in that state. And that's the idea. That's why you want to do it 3 times a day, just so your body starts to get used to, oh, yeah, I know that place. Oh, yeah, I know that place.
Okay, so, Marci, as there are with, all sorts of people, I'm sure that there are people like, that can't be, right. There's no way, I'm just being real with you,
Absolutely, I hear you.
But I would love if you could just talk a little bit about the myths that we have, because we are conditioned to believe that happiness is impossible. So,
Right.
What are some of the myths that block or sabotage or happiness?
Right. Well, first of all, I totally understand skeptics, and what I would say is 2 things. Number one is there's tremendous research and a growing body of research about this, so this isn't just unsubstantiated. But secondly, I urge people to use your own life as an experiment. Don't take my word for it or anybody's word for it. Try it out and see what happens. And that's the only way you get over being a skeptic. And so the myths that we were taught in our society, there's 2 predominant ones. One is the myth of I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I have a better job, or when I marry the right person, or when I lose 20 pounds, Mm-hmm. It's I'll be happier when. And we know from the happiness set point that you will be happier for a short period of time when you get what you think you want. But then within a couple of months, you'll return to your original set point unless you do something to change that set point. And then the second myth is the myth of more, More is better. And we just know also that's not true. 40% of the world's wealthiest people are more depressed than the average person.
So I work with a lot of mothers, and when we talk about healthy priorities and really, taking care of your well-being, it's almost like it's a foreign concept to actually focus on their happiness first. So I just want to hear your take on this. Do you think it's selfish to focus on our own happiness?
Great. Do we have enough time for me to tell a story and one other little technique? Because it will address that, but I want to make sure we have enough time.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So this is a story of someone that I interviewed. Her name is Sally Salles. Mm-hmm. The week before her 50th birthday, Sally was rushed to the emergency room of the hospital because she was violently ill. The doctors told her that her liver was failing and that she would need a liver transplant in the next few days. It was so severe, or she would die. Well, Sally was absolutely shocked by this because she had no family history of liver disease or any history herself of anything like this. It seemed to come out of nowhere. Fortunately, they found her a liver, did the transplant surgery, and she recovered beautifully, and all was well for about a year until she went back into the doctor for a routine physical, and the doctor told her that the second liver was failing and that she would need another liver transplant in the next few months or, she would probably die. Well, again, she was totally shocked. But on that particular visit, she happened to be sitting in the waiting room next to a woman who had just had her third liver transplant in 3 years. And the woman was the most angry, negative person that Sally had remembered meeting. And it reminded Sally that in Chinese medicine, every organ is associated with an emotion, and the liver is associated with anger. And it made sense to her. So she started thinking to herself, okay, where am I angry in my own life? And she realized that she wasn't angry towards other people, but she was often very angry towards herself. She was grown up in a very negative, critical family, and she was always beating herself up. She was never good enough. So at that moment, Sally made a commitment to herself, and her commitment was to practice every day for 5 or 10 minutes self-love. And she did various techniques, and some of them I refer to in Happy for No Reason. Well, after 2 months of doing this, she went back to the doctor for the exam to get ready for that second transplant surgery, and the doctor sat her down and said, Sally, I have absolutely no idea what's just happened. I've never seen this before, but your liver is completely healed. You don't need that transplant surgery. He said, it's a miracle. Well, that was 18 years ago, and Sally has never needed that liver transplant. She's one of the happiest, healthiest, most joy-filled people I've ever met. And so self-love is critical. It's critical for ourselves. It's critical for others. I'm going to give you one very brief exercise that you can do for self-love a couple of times a day.
Okay.
And that is very simply stop whatever you're doing and ask yourself this question. What's the most loving thing that I can do for myself right now? A very simple question. What's the most loving thing I can do for myself right now? And for sometimes the answer is going to be I can go get a glass of water, or I can go get some fresh air. Sometimes the answer might be I can do that inner ease technique that you just learned, or perhaps I can just, focus on gratitude, focus on what I'm grateful for right now. So different times warrant different things. But the very act of stopping and asking that question, what's the most loving thing I could do for myself right now, and then following up on that will shift your happiness set point.
And there you go, guys. It is not selfish to focus on your own happiness. It is not selfish for you to love yourself. In fact, as Marci just said, it is absolutely critical.
When people ask me if it's selfish to want to be happy, I say that it's the least selfish thing that you could possibly do, because when you're happier, it affects your family, your friends, and ultimately the whole world. And I love this Chinese proverb that sums that up. It goes, when there is light in the soul, there will be beauty in the person. When there is beauty in the person, there will be harmony in the house. When there is harmony in the house, there will be order in the nation. And when there is order in the nation, there will be peace in this world. And my wish for every single one of us is that we feel that happiness and light in our own souls, and through that, we help create peace here on this planet of ours.
Marci, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. I know you have a flight to catch. And guys, if you want to get Marci's book, you want to learn more about her work, just follow her and really see what she's doing. She travels all over the country and the world, right, Marci? You travel all over the world, yeah. So check her out, happyfornoreason.com. Marci, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you, Vasavi. I had a great time with you.
Okay, guys, and you are listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
KCMO Talk Radio 710 and now on FM at 103.7. If your biggest problem with Sean Hannity was getting him at work, there's no more excuse.
And he's running a very cynical campaign that is going to produce, if he's reelected in November, liberal, left-wing, radical surprises, and he will be emboldened to go as far as he wants. No fear of losing the next election.
The Sean Hannity Show, weekdays 2 to 5 on KCMO Talk Radio 710 and now 103.7 FM.
Vasavi Kumar knows one thing for sure. She is no expert. Instead, she embodies and radiates acceptance, vulnerability, hope, and love, drawing from a lifetime of awareness and the primal understanding that at our very core, we crave connection and truth. Vasavi knows that by sharing her authentic self, she creates a safe place for others to not only discover, but speak their own truth. Knowing that the relationships we seek begin first within, Vasavi delivers presentations that not only uplift and inspire, but encourage each attendee to dig deep, cast away doubt, and claim the truly radiant self they've too often buried under layers of expectations, disappointments, and self-criticism. To learn more about how Vasavi can support you in getting you out of your own way, visit her at vasavikumar.com or give her a call at 913-951-1764 today. vasavikumar.com. 913-951-1764.
I'm Tom Shane, and we recently had a customer who just bought a diamond from another jeweler, and he wanted to see if he had really gotten the great bargain he was told. Our salesman compared the other jeweler's diamonds side by side with several of our diamonds with the same laboratory grade. He explained that, within each given lab grade, we handpick the diamonds with the most sparkle. When the customer saw how much more sparkle he gets for his money at Shane Company, he returned the diamond and bought from us. He thanked us for helping him avoid giving his girlfriend a less brilliant diamond. That's why it's important to shop other jewelers first, then come to Shane Company. Whatever grade you choose, you'll see the difference, and so will she.
Now you have a friend in the diamond business. Shane Company, a half-mile east of Highway 69 at 135th and Metcalf in the shops at Deer Creek Woods. Open weekdays till 8, Saturday and Sunday till 5, online at shaneco.com.
I'm a teacher, and my kids keep me going all day. My feet needed help. I was using a gel insole when I heard about the ProFoot 2-ounce Miracle insole.
Only the 2-ounce Miracle is made with custom-forming Vitafoam to keep your feet steady and comfortable. The 2-ounce Miracle insoles conform to the unique shape of your feet, just like custom orthotics. Plus, they cushion and support your feet for amazing comfort.
The lightweight 2-ounce Miracle insoles really help my feet.
Try the ProFoot 2-ounce Miracle insole, available at Walgreens, Rite Aid, and other fine stores.
Did you know you could earn a transfer discount just by switching your motorcycle policy over to Geico? And if you already insure your car with Geico, you could even get a multi-policy discount. I've always wondered what it's like to ride a motorcycle. To ride my steel horse across the land, fighting crime alongside a tall brunette, Francesca. Sorry, my mind went to a strange place there. Where was I? All the Geico motorcycle discounts. Right.
Call Geico or visit geico.com today to see how much our discounts could save you.
If there were a Hall of Fame for big, it would include the Big Bang, big waves, Bigfoot, and of course, the big 4th of July appliance event at Sears. Starting now, Sears is the one place to save big on all 10 of the top 10 brands. Get up to 30% off all Kenmore appliances and up to 15% off all other brands. This is big. This is Sears. Exclusions apply. See store for details. Kenmore savings range from 5 to 30%. Other brands from 5 to 15%. Offer valid 6/29 through 7/7.
Who are you? What makes you tick? What makes your heart race? I want to know. You see, my purpose is to support you on your journey. My name is Vasavi Kumar, and I specialize in transformational coaching and speaking. Let's set up your 60-minute coaching session today. Call me at 913-951-1764. That's 913-951-1764.
Greg Knapp.
Take the survey right now, KCMOTalkRadio.com. With the Supreme Court's decision on Obamacare, what should the Republicans do now? KCMOTalkRadio.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710. If you're wondering why I'm laughing right now, it's because we're all jamming in the studio to Tupac. I mean, why would I not be laughing right now? I'm having the best time. And I'm happy. And how perfect is that? Because we just finished talking to the beautiful Marci Shimoff about, really how to be happy for no reason. And she had a lot of great points that I want to recap with you guys. The first being that we all have a happiness set point. Okay. And so 50% of our happiness is genetics, either you lucked out or you didn't. Sorry, guys. Or 10% is your circumstances. So you can't use that excuse anymore. And 40% is really habits of thought and habits of your behavior. And I said to her, I go to India, and as soon as I get off the plane and I'm in a cab to get to wherever I'm going, these 3-year-old kids are begging and they have the hugest smile on their face. So don't tell me that you can't be happy because of something that happened in 1975. I'm not going to buy it. And the next thing that she said, she gave 2 practical steps. I'm sorry, she talked about the 2 myths that we've bought into that block and sabotage our happiness. And the first is the I'll be happy when. You know what that sounds like. I'll be happy when I have more money. I'll be happy when I have a relationship. I'll be happy when I fall in love, or I'll be happy when I lose 20 pounds. So here's the thing. There's no way that you're going to be happy when you accomplish all those things if you're not happy now. Happiness attracts happiness. And what I would suggest is start exercising right now and maybe start being open to love and start taking those risks and being fearless now so that you can attract that income that you want, whether it's in your job or whether it's in your own business. And so the point is that the I'll be happy when is going to keep the unhappiness in place. And so if you cannot really be happy and thankful and grateful for what you have right now, it ain't coming to you. And the second myth that block and sabotage our happiness is the more is better. Come on, you guys know what that's all about. More is better. That's what I like to say when you're keeping up with the Joneses, you know. Oh, I'll be happy when I have that Mercedes. Oh, but that Mercedes isn't good enough. Now I got to get a Porsche. Oh, wait, but now I have to get a Hummer or, you know, whatever the next level up is in a car. Or more, I'll be happy when I have more money, more this. And, you know, it's just this never ending it's just never ending, right? Like you're never actually going to experience true happiness when you're always after, as my dad would say, the BBD, the bigger, better deal. So, really start practicing being happy right now and transition from that stress response to a love response. And one way that you could do that, you know, we modeled it on the air. Just, you know, if it's six minutes a day, 3 times a day, twice a week, put your hand over your heart and then imagine yourself breathing in and out of your heart. Okay, so really put your awareness to your heart. And then the third step is to inhale love and just, you know, exhale regularly. And so you're inhaling love and exhaling regularly. And it really does work. I totally felt my whole body just ease up. And I'm so happy that Marci was on the show because, you know, I come across people who are just not happy. And I'm like, what's the problem? You have everything. You have a roof over your head. You have clean water. You have food in the fridge. You know, you have, you know, beautiful children or whatever. I mean, what's not to be happy? So, this was a very good show. I'm happy. So I'm happy. See, there you go. Next week, we're going to be talking to the fabulous Allie Brown. And Allie is, most well known for turning $18.56 into a multi-million-dollar business in less than 10 years. Doing, get this, just get this, helping women entrepreneurs make a lot of money doing what they love and what they're passionate about. And let me just tell you about Allie. I had the privilege of meeting her at Doreen Rainey's Radical Success Conference. And if you remember, Doreen was on my show back in February. And when I met Allie, I was blown away by her shine, but even more so by her humility. And the cool thing about her is that she knows she shines and she's beautiful, but she's also humble. And I think that is the most beautiful combination of ownership of who you are and being humble and grateful for what you have and who you are in the world. And you guys are in for a real treat because I'm going to ask her everything from how the heck did you manage to stay true to yourself and grow your business so authentically to what does she love to do what does she love to do for fun on her off days to the secret to getting to where she is right now. It's just going to be total awesomeness. And, it was a pleasure talking to all of you today. I really want you guys to get my book because I really want you guys to really learn my story. And I want you to realize more than anything that you can do and be and have anything that you want. That's my wish for you. So go to my website at vasavikumar.com. Give me a call. I'd love to have a chat with you. It's 913-951-1764. And so, yeah, don't miss next week's show. We're talking to Allie Brown. And until next time, you're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710 and 103.7 FM. And please remember, be kind to yourself.